Welcome to the Daily Agenda. So we have another piece of legislation which is about to be used and abused, just like the Online Safety Act. Of course, that one was passed through with the ruse of protecting children. Now we can see its true application of cracking down on anything political, particularly immigration, that the evil regime doesn't like. And the same corrupt regime, leftist regime, is going to do the same thing with the policing and crime bill, namely respect orders. Of course, a number of people have noticed this particular instrument of tyranny and how it's going to be used, and quite rightly so, because it will work like this. Whilst they assure you it's going to be used for antisocial behaviour purposes, mainly ferals, I can assure you it definitely won't. I live in a town that's infested with antisocial behaviour problems, and none of them are being produced before the courts, in truth. And obviously I've been told that the courts aren't doing anything about it, even when they are produced there. So what you can be absolutely certain of is this: the respect order will be used to police thought crime. That's right, thought crime. Absolutely. I mean, we're not stupid, are we? We know exactly how this is going to be used and abused. So, in essence, if you're at a demonstration of any description and a police officer comes up to you and says, right, okay, I don't like what you've just said. I regard it to be a breach of the Police and Criming Act, which is what it will be when it's passed. And obviously I'm arresting you. So then they'll produce you before the courts, and some tame activist judge, totally on their side, will say, oh yes, absolutely, this is terrible. Someone's spoken out against immigration, particularly illegal immigration. This is completely unacceptable. It's not okay to be white, remember that. You know, it's illegal to be white, isn't it? But will be soon, because in essence that's what they're doing through the back door. You know, in our own country, we are the majority, the indigenous population. It's our country, remember, our country. We're simply being misled by a foreign occupation government, totally controlled by the globalists. And this is the battle, the great battle that is coming. The bet scenario, most definitely. And this legislation is only going to escalate the bet scenario and ensure its likelihood and that it happens sooner, I would say. Because the moment they start throwing their weight around across the country with these respect orders, targeting, you know, right-wing white people. That's what it'll be, right-wing white people. You've spoken out against mass immigration. You've spoken out against the rape of the countryside caused by mass immigration. You've done this, you've done that. We don't accept it. We don't like it. Bang, take a respect order and a 2-year prison sentence to go with it. I mean, what exactly does Starmer think this is going to achieve? And don't listen to any of their nonsense about, oh, this is to cut down on juvenile antisocial behaviour. It's absolutely rubbish. Nonsense. It will do nothing of the sort. They'll use it in a small minority of cases just to make it look good, but in truth, think of the Epping protests. That's how it will really be used. And the one at Canary Wharf and every other protest that is coming, that's in the pipeline, that's how they will use and abuse it, i.e. you don't really have the right of assembly. You don't really have any rights under the Representation of the People Act, and you don't have any freedom of expression, because this is a Sovietist, communist regime, and it was under the Liberal left Tories. So don't delude yourselves that it's just Labour. On the contrary, the broad mass of this tyranny, this legislative tyranny, was inflicted on us by the Tory regime. Labour's just continuing like that. And of course the Tories just took off from where Tony Blair and Gordon Brown finished off. It's just a case of handing over the baton to one uniparty regime after the other, all controlled by the wretched globalists, WEF agents, quite frankly. And so yes, that's the way the respect order will work. And as for Restore Britain, well, what they mentioned about it? Nothing. And what's Deepfake Reform UK mentioned about it? Well, nothing. It seemed to have passed under their radar completely. But it's not passed under my radar, and not under the radar of many other activists as well, because we know exactly how this respect order is going to work. So I will say this in advance: I have absolutely no respect for the political police because they are totally politicised and they are corrupt. If they're doing their job properly, targeting antisocial behaviour orders and the feral criminality that's running riot all over this country, yeah, and protecting people, particularly pensioners, and keeping them safe, then I have respect for that. That deserves respect and it deserves support. You know, I'm totally in favour of that. I'm not against a police service, full stop. We just need the right type of police service, one that isn't brainwashed at the highest ranks by commie purpose and inflicts upon us the likes of the antisocial behaviour orders that are coming. And these are not the ASBOs that they had before, or even the CBOs, which they use, spread around like confetti to silence freedom of expression. They've hatched every single instrument of tyranny you can think of, yeah, to wipe out freedom of expression, whilst talking nonsense about freedom of speech is a cornerstone of English law. Is it? Where? I've never seen that cornerstone. Perhaps somebody can point me in the direction of it. The Free Speech Union, perhaps? Well, no, evidently not, because that's another News International criminal, isn't it? Just like Dan Wootton. Yes, and they hate that, don't they? They hate being reminded of their past. These are the people who say to me that your past will always haunt you. Your past will always haunt you, my friends. Will always haunt you while I'm on duty. I'm on duty here at the Daily Agenda, reminding them of their past. So, the respect order. I have no respect for the corrupt judiciary. I have absolutely no respect for the corrupt magistrate. I have absolutely no corrupt for the wretched, corrupt organisation, Freemasonry, that underpins these judges and magistrates and lawyers. Because most of them are Freemasons. I have no respect for them at all. And you want my honest opinion on Freemasonry? It should be prescribed, and every Grand Master in this country should be prosecuted for crimes against humanity and conspiracy to pervert the course of justice. On innumerable counts, that is. That's what I think of Freemasonry. So, where's the respect? And they're not going to teach me any respect. They're not going to force me to show them any respect. Whatever I expose about them, they will never force me to apologise for it. No amount of prison time is going to make me sorry for exposing the truth. And they're never going to bully me into respecting them. So there is no respect. What are you going to do about it? You're not going to inflict any respect on me in any way, shape or form. And if the people are courageous enough to follow my example, which is what I think they should do in truth, then you have basically millions of people who will not show this vile regime any respect. And that's what I'm urging you to do. It doesn't deserve respect. And whilst we're at it, does Sir Keir Trotsky not understand that the vast majority of people in this country absolutely detest him, and Yvette Cooper, and just about everyone else in the New Labour regime. Sorry, New Labour, was that a slip of tongue? Of course it wasn't. No, it is the New Labour regime, isn't it? Recycled, rehashed. That's exactly what it is. This is New Labour Mark II. Mark I was horrendous. Mark II is transpiring to be even more horrendous. And anyone who knows Keir Starmer's past predicted that it would be. So, this is where we're at. No respect. How are they going to force us to have respect? So let's say they go into a demonstration and there's 20,000 people there, which would really scare them, or even just 10,000, and they want to start throwing around respect orders and getting heavy and bullying people. You can just imagine how that's going to happen, can't you? And once it kicks off in one area, it'll start everywhere else, because this country is a tinder keg, quite frankly, and everyone knows it. It's ready to explode, and it's just a case now. It's not a case of if. It's a case of when, and a matter of what exactly it is that's going to force it to explode. So respect orders, policing and crime bill, absolutely irrelevant. That's not going to stop what's coming. Absolutely not. In fact, it's only pouring more petrol on the fire, because we know exactly the way in which this respect order will be abused by the political police under the direction of the corrupt cartel that runs this country for the globalists. They're a minority tyranny. We don't want them. We've had enough of them. In fact, I can't even put into words the extent of the hatred, truly, that people feel for them, because it's just wouldn't be allowed under YouTube censorship. But you know exactly what I'm talking about. So I don't have any respect for them, and I know that the vast majority of my subscribers don't have any respect for them. So how are they going to teach us respect? They're not going to teach us any respect. All they're going to do basically is push us even further into more acts of disrespect, which will eventually lead to the bet scenario. And the bet scenario, as I've said, is coming within 18 months. Absolutely guaranteed. Your policing and crime bill is not going to change anything. Your respect order is not going to change a bloody thing either. If it was just a respect order to target feral gangs across the country, which most definitely do need to be crushed, smashed, put before the courts and put out of business permanently. But there's no interest in doing that whatsoever. I've seen it with my own eyes. All over the bloody country, in actual fact. I've seen it with my own eyes. It's not happening. It's not happening at all. And so the respect order is most definitely yet another instrument of tyranny waiting to be unleashed on us. And so therefore I warn you that about this respect order, and that you should have no respect, and to refuse any form of respect order when it comes. And we all know what the respect order is going to lead to, because the country is literally just a tinder keg waiting to go bang. When's it going to go bang? We'll see in due course.